Hey guys, Naz here with another video. In this video, I'll be going over the best build for Rex with my spin to win build in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeem. Before we dive into the build, let's go over our base art so we see what he's cooking with. I was happy to see that there's only 3 arts instead of 5 that made 2 of them feel like filler. How did you guys feel about that? Anchor Shot is a topple if we execute in front of our enemies. This is a 2-part attack with the powered pack on the second hit. Double Spinning Edge is where the build's name came from. This art hits 4 times, and if we critically hit, we get 30% of our art refunded. For those of you who are unaware of how multi-arts work in Xenoblade 3, I'll explain. Unlike your typical RPG, in Xenoblade each hit has a chance to critically hit, so if 3 out of the 4 hits critically hit, then we get this art back off cooldown. This is absolutely broken, and I use this to complete the game with ease. Dual Blast is our massive launch from the side. This thing hits like a truck and it'll be paired with Double Spinning Edge to kill any trash easily. As you can see, our base arts are Diamond Shape or Agnian Faction, meaning when we cancel our arts or have an auto attack connect, they will reduce our arts cooldown. This is my favorite faction as I love playing whack-a-mole with my arts. For this reason, our master arts are Kavessian, which means we'll have to wait for them to come off cooldown with no way of speeding up this process. Sword Bash is a single hit that reduces the enemy's resistance to our debuffs. Rolling Smash has the highest base and it's AoE. And lastly, Cross Blaze can outdamage Rolling Smash since it's guaranteed a critical hit when our enemies are using arts. Oh, and before I continue, make sure to copy the art position I have for an easy to follow demonstration later. Now that we went over our arts, let's go over our skills. Flaming Rage increases our damage every time we land a critical hit up to 150%. Since we can't inherit passives like the base game, this is actually really good as we'll be getting critical hits a lot. Light Speed Blade synergizes perfectly with Raging Flame as we'll be ignoring all our enemies' defense when we critically hit, and we have 50% more crit damage. Heroic Spirits is a bit iffy as we'll have 150% more damage, but the requirement is having our allies low on HP or dead. You never want to be in this situation, making it kinda rough to have it online. Our last passive is Flash and Flame, which increases our base critical hit chance by 20% and adds another 50 on the crit damage multiplier. Critical hit damage in Xenoblade 3 starts off at 125%, but with our 2 passives, we'll be at 225%. As you can see, our passive wants us to crit to make the most out of Rex, and that's what we'll be doing. Before I go over our gems, let's go over the Affinity purchase order for anyone tight on AP. In the first section, you'll want to upgrade Double Spinning Edge, then Dual Blast, and purchase Rolling Smash. Afterwards, you'll want the Critical Plus to have a 10% flat increase to your crit chance. Then Raging Flame and Speed Blade. You can stop here as the rest aren't that important. When you find the item that'll unlock your tier 2, use it ASAP. In this section, you'll want to get Unlocks Art Canceling to chain all your arts together. This is game changing and will make the game feel so much better. Next, we'll want to get Flash and Flames for that critical chance increase again and to increase the crit damage multiplier. Then upgrade Double Spinning Edge, Dual Blast, and Rolling Smash as they're your main arts. Lastly, Raging Flame and Light Speed Blade. That's it for the important tier 2 upgrades. Once you find another Affinity growth item, use it on Rex. I fed the first 2 into Rex and I didn't regret this as he carried me so hard. Unblockable's a must so we could do our full damage. Critical and attack up for a nice 10% increase to our base. Get Rolling Smash to that 440 potency. Then Flash Flame, Light Speed Blade, and Raging Flame. Chain Gauge up is nice for boss fights. Everything else is meh, so you could save your AP for your other members. Now that our Affinity growth priority has been established, let's go over our gems. As you can already see, I didn't spend much time in this section as they're the same from the base game. For anyone new, I'll go over why I chose these 3. Analyze Weakness because it adds to our 225 crit damage multiplier. Empowered Combo as we're an Agnian Blade, meaning we already benefit from canceling our arts to have them up faster, so why not get an extra reward by having more damage? Lastly, Disperse Bloodlust as aggro was a major issue in my run since I jacked Rex up and my tanks couldn't hold aggro to save their lives. This will allow you to kill tanky trash mobs without dying, but for boss fights, you're still gonna rip aggro and die. So if this doesn't sound that worthwhile, consider getting Steel Cleaver for more damage, as your attack stat is really low and it'll be worth the investment if you truly want to min-max your damage. Onto our accessories. Unlike the base game, the unique monsters don't seem to be dropping stat increasing items, so you'll want to purchase Ceramic Belt from a vendor. The 30% increase to attack is a massive damage increase. Warped White Brooch, since Ultimate Qigong isn't here to carry us and it'll act as a wonderful substitute. The last slot is up to your preference, as some endgame enemies are difficult to launch, but I still went with Fiber Wraps for the maximum damage potential. A good substitute is any racial item towards the enemy you're fighting. As for the battle manuals, I didn't spend much time testing these as I'm trying to get this out ASAP, so check the description or pinned comments if you're watching this later from the DLC release. I used Battle Manual 16 because this allowed me to get amazings each round so I could get 3 members back. Since Rex is the star of the show, this manual allowed me to use him every single turn for the maximum damage. Now that Rex is set up, let's go over our teammates and what we'll need to have on them to help us out. For Matthew, just make sure his Y is Mighty Strike and Raging Force. A's is Shaker Edge and Skyfall. Nicole is Steady Assault and Smart Bomb. Glimmer's is Flare Aria and Burning Ballad. And Shulk's is Stream Edge and Mondo Purge. The gems aren't that important, but I know someone's gonna ask in the comments, so here you go. Now for their accessories. Ceramic Belt is a must, as some of these endgame unique monsters have a ton of HP and we need all the firepower we can get. Break Brooch so Matthew and Shulk can break our enemies. I use Strategic Manual 6 for the Heroic Chain perk. If you don't have this, then Battle Manual 7 has the same effect. A's manual can be better, but she's hardly used, so don't sweat this one too much. Nicole's default completion sucks, so I just went with Shulk 2.0. Glimmer is a key component, so Tactical Manu 14 is a must. I don't recall where I got these or any of the manuals, to be frank, so if anyone knows, please leave a comment down below. Shulk is nice to have when RNG isn't on your side. This is a nice trump card to save your chain attacks. Lastly, our unities. I like having Glimmer and Rex, as by now you should know how important critical hit is for us, and this only makes us stronger. A and Shulk because having more accuracy is nice since we don't have those AoE passives from the main game. And lastly, Matt and Nicole are together because the other pairings were better. Okay, now that everything is finally set up, let's get into combat, shall we? For general gameplay, you'll want to try and start battles on the enemy's side so they get launched, since we have a free passive that does that. From there, cancel your auto attack after the second one goes off into a double spinning edge, dual blast, double spinning edge if it's up, if not, anchor shot, then double spinning edge. Usually this is enough to kill most trash battles. Now for boss fights, you'll want to start off the same, but we'll want to focus on getting our Raging Flame online before we go into that chain attack. I just realized I have some spoilers in this footage, so let me fast forward when the boss is comboed. Ideally, you'll want the boss to be launched for an additional 50% more damage. Use the tactical follow the leader, and once everyone's nearby, press the start button for the chain attack. Ideally, we're looking for Matt or Rex to start off this chain attack. Oh sweet, we got Matt. We'll want to start off with Nicole's Y. Then A's Y to get close to 99. Unfortunately, this is on a file that I didn't have the full affinity tree, so I'm missing some TP. I'll use Glimmer here as well. For anyone wondering why I gathered up everyone before the chain attack, it was for this specific reason. Glimmer's damage isn't the best, so we want her to give our allies attack and crit up. Matt's gonna get us as high as possible. Now for Rex to finish the job. If you copy the setup, then everyone just presses the Y button. Oh my god, we barely made it. I'm gonna start to speed things up since this might take a while. Ideally, we would use Shulk here to get everyone back since we're kinda in a tough spot, but I'm kinda greedy and I'm gonna go for that God Run. We're using Glimmer to get the buffs back up, then Matt and Rex is gonna do the most damage. We need to see Glimmer here, otherwise the run's over. Oh, thank goodness. I'm gonna start off with A here, as Matt can finish a chain order with the manual we have equipped. So we could just Shulk here to get our members back, but seeing that we have A's order, I'm gonna roll the dice and see what we get. A, so Rex can hit that 200 for that amazing. Okay, we could do one more order to get the 6th wave. Going with Shulk for that power charge. Nicole so I could get as much damage out. Glimmering for the buffs. Matt to keep the chain from filling, and then Shulk for the damage. We kept Shulk low the whole time, so we can actually use him for damage here. Glimmer for the buffs, Matt and Rex for the damage to finish it off. Hopefully this video helped you beat any boss you were stuck on, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And don't forget, if this video brought value to you, please leave a like and consider subscribing to see more, as I play a wide array of RPG games and I break them down just like this. Until the next video, I'll see ya.